Hey, hey, hey. It is Phi Sports Take again. And we're here, your favorite sportscasters, with a lot to talk about. In the world of sports, there's so much going on. We all got to eat a little crow about the Dallas Mavericks. I don't know what to say, but I was the main one saying the Mavericks are too strong for Boston. It was the other way around. We got to do a little eating of crow, but it's a lot of things going on. That's not the only thing. The Caitlan Clark situation is one of the biggest topics in the world. I just sat down and watched a game of her against the Atlanta Dream. She seems to be fighting through all the adversity, and that's something to be said because it would have took a whole lot of other people out, but she's fighting through it, and if she comes up the other side, she's going to be a big winner. But hey, this is our 21st episode of 75 Live Sports. Give or take a couple of episodes. I'm not specific on that. I'll get back to y'all on that specific number. But we've been doing this for a while, and we're very grateful to have with us Laquan Stallworth, Tristica Williams with our crew, and we have two ladies, and they're going to give us a lady's perspective on sports also, and we're very grateful for that because we like to be diversified in our overall perspective. Ain't that right, Mr. President?
Exactly. You got it.
We like to be diversified and taking care of business. So I'm going to get right into it. Phil, what do you say about the NBA Finals? Has it lived up to what we thought it was going to be?
Well, in my opinion, actually, yes. Boston's been lingering around that championship realm for a couple of years. They kept that young nucleus together, didn't break it up, brought in a couple of good veterans to work with them, and they deserve to be where they are. And if you guys remember last week, I said my heart said Dallas, but my head said Boston. They've been a better team in the NBA all year, and it's carrying through the playoffs. I didn't expect it to be 3-0, but I knew it wasn't going 7 games like a lot of people said. I thought the most it would go is 6, but after tonight, it looked like it's only going to go 4. So if Dallas wins, is only going to prolong the agony. They're not going to come back from 3-0. That hasn't happened, and I don't think they're strong enough to do it.
Yeah, I agree with you on that. Tristica, you got time to comment? I guess she's not. How about you, Laquan? What you think about the NBA playoffs?
Well, basically, I mean, Dallas is just a Cinderella team, to be honest. And with that, I mean, if you look at it all year, Luka doesn't have any defense. He doesn't play defense. He just strictly offense. And Kyrie is sketchy. 1 minute he wants to play, he'll play defense. Then the next minute he'll be null and void. So just basically, I think when they got rid of the center, that was a mistake. And so they just paying for it. But to me, Boston had it easy in the East. With all the injuries over there in the East, Boston had a cakewalk. It was really nobody else to beat Boston out of it.
Aren't you still surprised though?
I was surprised when Dallas beat Dallas beat the Timberwolves, because I thought Anthony Edwards was coming to make a statement, and it seemed like he just ran out of gas. His whole entire team just ran out of gas. Because if you come off a big win with the Nuggets, that's supposed to be momentum to keep it going, and they just didn't have it.
Yeah, it surprised me when the Timberwolves beat the Nuggets, but the Nuggets got rid of 2 important players in Jeff Green and Bruce Brown, and I think that hurt them eventually in the playoffs. Jeff, what you feel about how the NBA playoffs have gone, and is the last game tonight?
Yep, the last game is tonight. We're missing it right now. Matter of fact, I forgot to turn my TV on. Normally I have a TV on while we watch it so I can keep you guys up. But I need to turn my TV on. But yep, it could be over tonight. I'm surprised. I thought that Dallas would have put up a bigger fight than they have. I thought maybe right now Dallas might be up 2-1, or maybe down 2-1, but there's no way I thought that Boston will be up 3-0 at this point. It just looks like to me that Luka Doncic, even though he's putting up numbers, he's not playing effectively. He's not playing good defense. He's not playing a full game. He's playing offense and he's resting on defense. And you're talking about the finals. It's the NBA finals. It's not the first round. You're going against the best team in the league right now on the eastern side of the conference. And you have to understand, you got to bring your A game every night. You can't play well one game and then play subpar ball the next 2 nights. You got to bring your game every night. You got to win 4 games. So, and there's going to be some nights where you bring your game and you still lose. So you got to bring your game every night. And Luka, I just don't think Luka has been Luka. He was much more effective in the series against the Minnesota T-Wolves than he has been in this series. And Kyrie Irving has played well only in spots. He has not been consistent in this series. So, in my opinion, I think the 2 stars for the Celtics have outplayed the 2 stars for the Mavericks. As well as I think that the Celtics, the other players, the non-stars, I think the non-stars for the Celtics have outplayed the Dallas Mavericks non-stars. So I think you add all of that up, that's why Boston's up 3-0.
I just want to say this. I hope Dallas doesn't blow up their team because they didn't win a championship. Look at how long it's taken Boston to get here. And they got a good team. They just got to keep building around it. And just like Minnesota, Minnesota has to just keep building and give Anthony Edwards 2 or 3 years, he might lead them to a championship. But if people don't give getting to the championship, getting to the Western Conference Finals, that's an accomplishment. And be thankful for your accomplishment and keep working. But we'll see what they do. Trades are going on or will be going on. How can teams improve themselves? What do we see around the league as to some of the ways that teams should go out and improve themselves? I heard a rumor that Steph Curry asked for a trade. Did anybody hear that?
No, I didn't hear that. I saw
that's probably an internet rumor and so forth. Because he's the face of
Steph ain't leaving. Steph ain't leaving. Anybody that want to play with Steph will have to go to Steph. Steph is not leaving. He might get rid of Draymond.
He is Golden State. Now, Klay Thompson, Andrew Wiggins, Draymond Green can leave, but Steph ain't going nowhere. So we'll see. Sister Laquan, what other trades do you think might happen around the league? I think, is it true that Trae Young asked for a trade?
Yes, but to be honest, I don't know if you really watch Trae game. Trae don't run an offense. He doesn't run an offense, and he don't listen. Trae reminds me of a young Allen Iverson. I'm just gonna go out here, get mine. It's all about me, and then let's just see what happens. So Trae want to leave, but who really wants to play with Trae?
Well, the question would be, who really wants to play with LeBron? Almost, might ask that also. Maybe you could put them 2 together, LeBron and Trae, and see what happens. Were you surprised that Bobby Hurley turned down $70 million?
Nope. He had already said it. He already said it last year that he wouldn't leave. He said he would entertain offers, but he wouldn't leave. But to me, I think that what that was Jeannie Buss doing that to clear up the thing about JJ, because Bron wants JJ, AD doesn't. So it's like, let me just entertain people, but they already knew Bobby Hurley wasn't gonna go because he already said he wasn't leaving before he said that.
I don't think JJ gonna take it.
I don't know.
I think he's comfortable doing his commentary. Now, if he lose that job, then he might be open. What y'all think, brothers? Jeff?
I think that Bobby Hurley, I think he used the Lakers offer to get a better offer from
Connecticut.
from Connecticut. I really believe he did that, and that's that you see that often. You know, with guys that use a one offer as leverage to get a better offer somewhere else. I really believe he did that. I don't think that he had any intention of coming to the NBA. I think that some of those college coaches who had great success on the college level, I think some of them are a little gun shy in coming to the NBA because they know in the NBA they don't have as much authority as they would have at the college level. You know, at the college level, you're dealing with children. You're dealing with 18, 19-year-old kids. At the NBA level, you're dealing with 32, 33-year-old men who are nearly billionaires. And so you got a different situation there. I just think that some of those guys who had that kind of success at that level, they even prefer to stay at that level as opposed to stepping up a level. And now you're having to prove yourself on another level. And now there's always a chance that you will not prove yourself, you know, and they're afraid of failure. So I didn't expect him to take that off. I was really surprised that he showed any interest in the first place, really, to be honest with you.
Who is going to end up coaching the Lakers then? Phil, who you think?
Well, they really want JJ, that's for sure. But Redick didn't have any experience. I mean, it's kind of wide open still. Hurley really didn't leave because he needed money. He just got a good contract. I mean, it's more money the Lakers offered him, obviously. But I think he really wanted to be at UConn more so than taking the Lakers job, which I think is a wise decision. So that job is a toxic job. I don't know. There's no more Phil Jacksons out there running around to grab and put in that spot. So they're going to have to get somebody. I mean, nobody knew who Spoelstra was when he took the Heat job. And look what it turned out to be. So it's possible they could get somebody unknown who's good enough and strong enough to handle those personalities. But they don't necessarily have to be a big name. But that's going to be an interesting hire. I really wouldn't say who I thought because I don't know. But I like to see whoever gets that job, how they handle it, especially in their first year with those aging veterans who think, you know, hey, they can coach the team and play.
Yeah, I'm thinking it might end up being LeBron or Magic Johnson end up with the job. I don't know. I mean, stranger things have happened. You got a final comment on the Lakers situation, Laquan?
Hey, real
not really. The Lakers is what the Lakers is. And if they get Bronny in a pick, I don't know what to say about them.
Yeah.
Real quick, while we're on the Lakers subject, guys, let's just pay tribute to Jerry West, the NBA logo, who passed away yesterday at the age of 86. I got to see West play. And West told Kobe on many occasions, if you the Mamba, I was a mongoose. And I love that.
Say that again.
Jerry West once told Kobe, if you were the Black Mamba, I was the mongoose, and mongoose kill mambas.
Okay, all right.
Jerry West was a bad boy.
Jerry West was a bad boy. Him and Gail Goodrich was a formidable backcourt. When I loved it when Walt Frazier and Clyde Monroe went against Gail Goodrich and Jerry West, everybody was going for it.
And Walt Hazzard.
Yeah, Walt Hazzard was a forward though. Walt Hazzard was a bad boy too, but I was just talking about the guard play matchup.
Okay,
you know?
All right.
Hey, Carl, these are the guys that I hear as far as NBA trade rumors. These are the guys that I hear that could very well be moved in the offseason. Trae Young, Alex Caruso, the guard from the Bulls, Jonathan Kuminga from the Golden State Warriors, Paul Anthony Towns, I'm hearing rumors on him, Brandon Ingram, the forward from the Pelicans, Donovan Mitchell, Murray with the Atlanta Hawks, Mikal Bridges. I'm hearing that they're asking too much for Mikal Bridges. I don't know what it is. They're asking too much for Mikal Bridges with the Nets. The Rockets want Mikal Bridges. The Rockets right now are willing to give up the third pick and whatever else salary fillers that's required to make that deal to get Mikal Bridges. They would rather bring in Mikal Bridges than draft another young guy with the third pick in the draft. They want somebody who can come in right now and give them 18 to 22 points a game, as opposed to waiting on these 18, 19-year-old kids to come in.
Let me ask you a question, Jeff. Are they going to fall out of the first round to get him? That's not worth it.
Say it again.
Are they going to fall out of the first round to get him? That's not worth it.
Well, yeah. Bridges is one of the best two-way players in the league.
Dude, Bridges ain't worth no first round. I mean, I'm just saying if you have to give up a second round pick to get him, and trade places with somebody, man, you can't give up no third pick. What, they got a second first round pick or something?
No.
No, well, that's
I don't
foolish.
know, Phil.
In my opinion, that's
I would
foolish.
give up a
You
third
do know
pick.
that
Bridges
you
can
do
play.
know that
You don't know how
you
good
do know
Bridges is.
you do know they saying this is the worst NBA
I
draft.
don't care that, hey, if you do your homework, you can find players. They always say that. The classes that are the best are the ones they say that are the worst. The classes that are the
I
best
don't really
are the worst.
That's
That's been my experience of watching the NBA draft. Oh, they praise these classes. Next 3 years, the top 4 or 5 are out of the league. I mean, it happens. It happens. I'm just saying, I'm no prognosticator. I don't have a crystal ball. All I'm saying is, I wouldn't trade it for Mikal Bridges. I don't care if you trade it.
no, not him, but
Thank
this
you.
I don't see anybody in this class that's gonna come out and just dominate. I just don't.
Well, probably not. But for the third pick, draft picks are precious gold. You just don't go trading
Yeah.
them.
Yeah,
I don't
that's
know.
true.
There's a time that, you know, you give, just like they gave up Andrew Wiggins for an established player when he was the #1 pick coming in.
Yeah, LeBron didn't want him. He was going to Cleveland. He was going to Cleveland.
The Rockets did the same thing. You remember they traded that boy that forward, and they ended up with I don't remember who they ended up with, but anyway, it's a lot of teams have done. They'll trade
it's
that
not
draft pick
uncommon.
for an established player.
In the NFL, you trade back and you get value. In the NBA, you can't do that typically with players. You have to hit it almost in the NBA. She's right. It may not be. But in my opinion, you look at your roster, you look at your needs, and you look at where your chances of getting this high of a pick again comes in. They don't rate them just to rate them. Somebody's coming out every year. Some drafts are weak, some drafts are strong, but you can always find value. I mean, Draymond Green was a second-round pick. They thought he was going to be
Gino Mobley was a second-round pick.
A lot of second-round picks don't even make it. There's no guaranteed money. And this guy got 4 rings. He's a contributor to those 4 rings. He wasn't just on the team. So you just never know.
But you know the Hawks are talking about giving up their first trade pick as well. So
well, the Hawks are the same teams that traded with Dallas to get Luka. They drafted Luka originally. They traded Trae Young and Luka up straight up. So I mean, you can do other things too. There's a lot of ways to find the guy you want. You got to want.
Okay, Phil. If you's the Rockets, you don't want to trade that pick. Who do you take at 3?
Well, in my opinion, based on what they have, what they're trying to do, they're not going to win the championship next year. They're going to be very good. You want to progress in the right direction. Don't you need a center that can get up and down the floor? Who on the team that at center can get up and down the floor? Let me tell you something. The kid from UConn, the 2 years they won those championships, he was a major part of why they won. He runs, he blocks shots, he can pass the ball, and he can shoot. He is a heartbeat guy. You put him in a game learning behind Adams. Adams ain't gonna play no full game, no full season at this stage. But he's smart, he's a rim protector, and he can school this kid. This kid can play. I don't know who else you might want. They might want to get Jeff Reed. Let somebody give what's our point guard name? Reed is the guy from Reed Shepherd. I'm sorry, the guy from Kentucky. Reed Shepherd is a great shooter, good ball handler. I'm not that impressed with him, but they keep pontificating that, hey, he's the guy. He can do it. Take him. Let's see. But I don't trade that pick just to trade it. I have to get some value for it. Now,
what about Rob Dillingham? How you feel about Rob Dillingham?
I like Dillingham too. He's good. Kentucky had a ton of one and dones. All those guys.
Would you take him at 3, Rob Dillingham?
I wouldn't have a problem with Dillingham. I wouldn't have a problem with the other guy that played guard at UConn. But you got guys like that already. That's the problem.
Yeah.
If you want a good player, you get him. But you got guys like that already. You have nobody like the big boy. He's 7'2", man, and he can play. He's not a scrub. I take him over. Hey, he didn't get more points than Eddie. His team won. I like winners.
But you know,
real quick.
The Baylor kid pretty nice too, though. The center.
He is, but he's the same style of player, unless you're gonna trade Green.
Yeah.
Or what's the guy they got from Memphis? You have to look at what you don't want to stack positions either. You want to be able to have a flow with your rotation.
I
so
just
Phil,
think
you telling me, even though you have Alperen Sengun and you have Aquaman, who's Steven Adams, and you have Jock Landale. That's 3 guys.
Man, you cut Jock Landale.
You tell them you
tomorrow.
still draft the
Let me help you. Help me help you. You cut Jock Landale tomorrow. Okay.
Okay, but you still have Şengün.
I don't think
Şengün
Şengün
is not a
better than
center.
Jock
Şengün
Landale.
is not a center. He's
So
not
you
a
play
center.
Şengün at power forward?
Yeah, he's 6'8", 6'9", and he play that way, and he can handle the ball. That guy's versatile. He saves you 2 spots right there. He saves you 2 spots. Landale is a waste. He's not that kind of guy. They filled him in because they didn't have anybody. The kid from UConn is better than him right now, in my opinion.
I'm not sure about that.
And he's cheaper.
I'm not sure about me. I still would take. I trade that number 3 pick and pick up Marcus Smart and use him as the number 1 backup.
And that's not a problem. But you're gonna get another 9 pick for that, though. I was asking, do you trade out of the first round to do that? Wow. First round picks aren't free. You earned that. So my point is, if you're gonna trade down, you say you're going to Memphis. Say you get him. Plus, he's familiar with the coach. In my opinion, if you take Marcus Smart, then you need to cut the dude you got from Memphis last year. You can't have 2 or 3 of the same guys that don't do anything but the same thing.
Who are you talking about? Dylan Brooks?
Yeah, I'm not a big Dylan Brooks fan.
Well, they play.
Okay, but Phil, real quick. You telling me that you wouldn't rather trade for an established player that averaged 21 points, 6 rebounds, 5 assists a game?
Dude, he did it in New Jersey. I mean, he did it in Brooklyn.
Player, you wouldn't willing to trade for a guy like that?
Let me ask you a question. Are you trying to justify the kid from Brooklyn? Just answer that for me. That what you trying to justify?
Well, I'm just saying. You wouldn't rather.
No, I would not. I would not.
No, I'm trying to see if you can't understand why they would be interested in that.
No.
All right, guys.
I did not say that. I'm saying I wouldn't trade a high pick for him. He's a good player to have on your team. Out of Villanova, a winner there too. I got no problem with it, but number 3, come on, man.
Okay.
Don't give him my number 3 pick for him. You can get a guy like that anywhere almost.
We're not going to settle this one, guys.
Let's I'm just giving my opinion. It's not right or wrong. It's an opinion. I'm not.
I got you. I understand. We ain't going to settle this, though. Jeff, when is the draft?
The draft is 2 weeks from this past Wednesday. So we're less than 2 weeks away. So it's on June 26th. Wednesday, June 26th. Down the
pike on that. We also go look at trades and see what's happening. We'll make a judgment on what's actually happening out there when it happens. Caitlan Clark has been getting a whole lot of angst everywhere. She's received a lot of hate, a lot of praise, a lot of publicity. You know, a lot of people talking about why she didn't make the Olympic team. She got pushed down, which I thought was a bad cheap shot. I saw it myself. I thought it was a bad cheap shot. But, you know, you can understand. Larry Bird, when he was first came in the league, everybody was trying to fight him. Dr. J, the icon, went to fisticuffs with him. So is it a surprise? Laquan, what you think about that?
I'm gonna say this. Did you see her cheap shot she did before that? That's why the girl.
Thank you. A lot of people didn't see that. Thank you.
Yeah, that's why they retaliated. Just basically what Caitlan Clark is, it's a lot of pressure on, of course, but that's, to be honest, I'm gonna just put it out there. White America put it out. White America made that happen. And so with the whole thing going on, he has to learn that it's not gonna come easy. Nobody's she played with 18 and 19-year-olds. These are grown women. This is part type of ball. Either you if you fall, if you ain't injured or going to the hospital, get your butt up and keep playing. And stop whining. Stop whining and just play ball. Do she deserve to be on the Olympic team? No. What 12? That 12, who she's better than on that list? Nobody. She's not better than nobody on that 12. And so who place she take? Nobody. So let's just get that out the way. The girl is working through her issue. She gets 7 assists, but she has 7 turnovers. That's not efficient. That's not efficient. I think Chrissy Silas, the head coach, I play with her. She's my ex-teammate. I texted her and said, you need to work inside out instead of outside in. Caitlan don't move. Caitlan don't know how to move without the ball. She stands still. So that makes everybody focus on everybody because she's standing right there and not moving to an open spot. She don't know how to come off screens. She don't know how to be able to come off a screen and curl, to flare out. She don't know those type of things. But because she did what she wanted to in college, and that was just to shoot. There's more to the game. These ladies are bringing more dynamics. Diana Taurasi is like, I've been the face of the league. Asia Wilson, they won't make me the face of the league, but they gonna believe I'm the face of the league because I'm not gonna talk. Asia don't talk. Her game talks. Her game speaks for itself. Asia averaging 25 points a game. Asia can't be stopped. Asia is the WNBA. If people could put it all on Caitlan. Caitlan brought the viewers. That's because white America want. That's what white America want. They want a white league. But exactly. No, it ain't happening in that way. These girls got something to say. Hey, if you want it, you come get it. You come take it. If you can't come take it, then hey, shut up and play ball.
That's where
I love it.
Gino said, I forgot his full name. Do you know
Ariyama, coach of UConn.
Yeah. Gino, the coach
Ariyama.
of UConn, he said they set Caitlan up to have all this animosity because they were disrespecting the girls that was already in the WNBA, saying she was going to come in and just blow everybody out when these girls were All-American and everything else. So they set her up and put her in a bad situation. And, maybe she was taking in the syrup. I don't know, but that's what happened. I want to welcome original Phi Side member, Phi Side Sportstake member, Silas McMorris. What's up, Silas?
What it do? What's happening?
Bro. That's how brothers.
What you say about this Caitlan Clark situation, Silas?
I cannot. All I can do is say ditto to what the young lady just said. Everything she said, it was on point about Caitlan Clark because white America wants another hero. That's the bottom line. And if their hero is not getting any shine, they're gonna bust a pout and complain like little spoiled brats. That's what we're dealing with right now.
It's like they're setting up. It's like they're setting up to be Rocky. They want that white champion.
That's right. They made Rocky because all the heavyweight champs at that time were black.
Right. Exactly. So they need her. They need her to be a star.
That's right. That's right.
But we cannot deny that she has put a lot of fans in the seats, a lot of dollars in the sponsorship, and a lot of eyes on the viewership on TV. So
not because of what Snoop said, but because of what Snoop just said.
Hold on. Who is that benefiting? Because it's not benefiting the whole entire league. Hold on, let's get that.
It should, Laquan.
No, it's not. It's benefiting the Indiana Fever and the WNBA and Caitlan Clark pockets. Let's be honest. That's who is benefit. The big sponsorship. Who are they giving it to? Caitlan. Who are they giving? You mean to tell me it took Black America to get upset because Asia Wilson didn't have a shoe deal? Asia Wilson didn't have nothing, and she back-to-back champion, a back-to-back MVP, and didn't have it. And you come in and give this girl $28 million, and they still didn't disclose what they gave Asia because they didn't give Asia the money. They gave her the shoe.
Exactly.
But we do have to admit, Laquan, this is the way America's always been, and we gotta find because we're not gonna just protest and complain and make them change. We gotta find a way to work with it or work around it or overcome it. But it is what it is, and we got to deal with it as it is and find a way to change it. It's even like reparations. We deserve reparations, but hey, they're not going to give it to us, unless we find some way to push that agenda. I see you. Go ahead.
And the thing is, the WNBA has not made a profit, and they have not made a profit in the WNBA all these years, and they're still set to lose 25 to 30 million this season. They're still set to lose that much. So the marketing of the WNBA trying to focus on one person isn't working.
That is if it ain't working, it ain't working. If the glove don't fit, you got to quit and say something else. Do something else. Phil, I saw you had something to say.
To me, the take for me for her is it's just like her freshman season. Okay, the WNBA is, like she said, full of grown women who have been All-Americans, women who have been All-Stars. No, they're not doing all the financial things. That's coming. I say that every time we bring that subject up. But she is not really the face of the league. They want her to succeed. She's trying. I don't really see her making a big fuss about it. I think it's all the people around her, fans, the league. Hey, she's just taking what they give her. But she getting her behind brought to her every night. She got somebody there. If she dropped 30, somebody on the other team could drop 31. If she, like she said, she has a very different skill set. She shoots threes, that's fine, but they'll let her have those until she start making a good percentage of them. She's not doing that. She's had an impact. That is fair. But the other teams know who she is. Let me give you a scenario. Teams are so preoccupied with her. There was a lady shooting free throws. She shot her first free throw and ran to guard Caitlan when she had another free throw to shoot. Now, that goes to show you that she does draw attention. And that's okay. But there's so many players in the league that are good. The Asians as a team, have you just looked at their team? I would not be surprised if they get a 3-peat. And only the Comets did a 4-peat. And they're playing at a high level. I like watching the games. I love watching the games. So, she has her impact, but let's not get too hyped up about it. I mean, people that really know basketball know it's not a big deal about her. That's other people doing that. I don't hear her going around bragging. She knows who she's playing against. She knows she's on the bottom of the pole, and she does not deserve to be on the Olympic team. I totally agree with that. She's going to be on the next 2 or 3 of them, but not this one.
I can understand if she's putting up huge numbers, like 25 points a game, and her team was up, say, had a record of, say, 10-4, then they would have more to argue with. But you have to understand, her team is 4-10. And she has very little experience. She's a rookie. She didn't go to any of the training camps that they've had relative to that team. She didn't make any of the meetings. She has little to no experience as far as playing on an Olympic team. They made the right decision to leave her off the Olympic team. Simple as that.
And if she's whining now about fouls, you get overseas. Let a Russian or a Chinese woman hit you. That's a different type of foul. That's a different foul.
Silas.
Yes.
You said you had your hand up. You wanted to say something.
No. I didn't say anything. I was just when Philip said about comments with the 4-peat. We're the only ones that did that.
Only ones.
All right. Hey, I wanted to talk about the possibility. The Olympics are coming up. We've talked about it before. We talked about it when Laquan was here last time, about the competition that the American team is going to face. And because they have LeBron James and the rest of them, Jeff says that's going to put them as the favorite. I'm just going to say they got an average chance. You look at Canada's team. Canada got Shea Gilgeous-Alexander. They got Zach Edey's on that team. I mean, you got a lot of guys on that team. Germany won the last Olympics. Spain got a great team. Serbia has a great team. I mean, across the board, look at some of these rosters that will be in the Olympics. I mean, and LeBron not even making it to the finals of the NBA. I mean, why are we saying he's going to win the Olympics? LeBron, Steph Curry, these other teams are good and they play together better. Laquan, what's your comment on that?
They can't call Kobe this year. I'm just gonna say that they can't call Kobe to come off the bench.
Kobe's perfect. Kobe never lost. He never lost
Yeah.
the game.
They can't call it. But I think, to be honest, I think Bron should come off the bench, let Anthony Edwards start, because if you let them young cats go and run it and see if he brings that game, that extra like Kobe brought it, So I would say that, but I mean, international teams are catching up with the U.S. As far as that, because a lot of times they started taking it for granted. They started really taking the Olympics for granted, like they can just beat everybody. I tell you, Canada is going to be strong this year. Canada is going to be strong. So I just look at it as, I hope they play as a unit and not with egos, because I just think with that team, you have a lot of players that want to be the man, want to be the man.
Yeah, it's gonna be interesting.
I just feel
Germany won the last one, so they got to be the favorite until somebody beat them.
Hey, Carl, I feel if the USA is healthy, if they are healthy, now if they got some injuries, all of a sudden LeBron breaks down and some of the other guys break down during the tournament, then we can be beaten. But if we are healthy, if the USA is healthy, I don't see anyone beating them. Now, I agree, Canada does have a good team. I saw that team Canada have. They stacked. The reason why these other countries are catching up is because their players are playing in the NBA. So they're getting all this training, NBA and strength and conditioning, and they're getting all this training playing against the best players in the world now, because they're playing in the best league. So that's why they're getting better. That's why those countries are catching up. But still, I still feel that if we got our best team out there and we're healthy, no one beats the USA.
Well, there's only one way to settle this. We got to see what they do in Paris, and it's going to be interesting. I wish I could get me a ticket and I go over there, get me my passport together, and I'd be in the crowd and check it out, and we see what's going on. But we'll get a chance to see it on TV. Speaking of the Olympics, the track and field is going to be one of the most exciting things, and they're revving up. Noah Lyles is revving up. Cindy McLaughlin is revving up. She just ran a 48.7 in the 400 meters. Not her event. Of course, she just coasted in her event, which is the 400 hurdles. Across the board, everybody is revving up. So it's going to be very interesting. I just posted the NCAA 4x400 meters. It was a hot race. Texas A&M won it in 258.3, and Arkansas came in second, 258.8. So across the board, these teams are running super fast, and it's going to be hot in the Olympics. But I still don't believe anybody can beat the United States in the relays, and we'll see what happens in that. Only way they beat them is they drop the stick. But all of these other teams, Jamaica, the African countries, are all catching up, but they still not there in track and field. We still put an emphasis on our track and field, even though we don't get the economic benefit that they get in Europe. I mean, they get big purses in Europe, but we put still a lot of emphasis in college and in our national track and field so that we can still shine our light. Any comments on that?
Hey, Carl, look, let me forego one thing, though. Track and field is not my forte, but I will tell you this. What you referred to was Germany won the FIBA World Championship. We won the Olympics in Tokyo.
Thank you.
In 2020.
Thank you.
I want to make sure that was clear. But hey, as far as the track and field, I defer to you. But that one, I had to make sure you got it right, because the Germany is going to have a good basketball team too, as well as Canada. They got some good players. But yeah, they won the FIBA. We won the Tokyo Olympics in 2020.
France also will have a good team.
That's another team. You're right. Like I say, I'm beginning to always see your point of view, but I still agree with Jeffrey that if they play their very best and we play our very best, we should win. I mean, I'm not saying we're gonna, but we should, because they play at a high level, but you get that many good players together, and one thing does have to happen. They do have to destroy their ego. And it's not impossible. Anything is possible. even some of the foreign teams you stated could win. But then when you transfer over to track and field, we actually have all the fastest runners. But that doesn't always, like you said, translate into an automatic gold, silver, or bronze, because little things happen, injuries, dropping a stick, because some of these people compete in other events and they may get hurt in that event. But I love watching track and field. I'm learning a lot about the conditioning it takes to be a track and field person. And, they're always talking about the most conditioned athletes. We never mention track and field people. I want to say to do the decathlon, to do the HEP, whatever the one where you do all the
pole vault.
Pole vault, that's one. But the one I'm thinking of is when you're jumping over the hurdle. That's what I was trying to say. And then you do some other stuff in between. It's a lot involved.
That's a steeplechase.
There you go, Carl. See, I know that's why I defer to you, my friend. This is definitely something you need help with. But that's all I have to say real quick.
All right. It's going to be interesting. And for me, every race is exciting. So, yes, that's going to be a major event to check out. I just want to mention, before I'm remiss in it, a major event happened in baseball. The Negro League statistics was added, and Josh Gibson is now the leading hitter of all time, surpassing Ty Cobb. I did some, of course, I went to the Negro Hall of Fame baseball in Kansas City. I went before they had changed those statistics, but they say Josh Gibson hit 900 home runs.
Yeah, that's unconfirmed, but it's possible. I mean, they gave us the records they had.
Keep statistics in the Negro Leagues.
But they gave us the stats they did have. It started in 1920 and ended in 1947. But they did keep stats in between some, but they missed a lot because there was actually Negro League teams who beat Major League teams, but they couldn't have reporters report it. That was given, their word before. And I'm surprised nobody leaked it because, it's been leaked now in our lifetime, but we talking in 20s, 30s, and 40s, the Black Yankees and some of the other teams were, and Atlanta Black Crackers, they were waxing those teams. They would actually scrimmage them, but they couldn't film it or report it. And from what the reports have come out much later is that Cool Papa Bell, Satchel Paige, they had a field day.
Yeah.
They couldn't report it because they were not winning.
I know, that's my point. But they didn't want nobody to know that. That was not going to get you absolutely right. But I was just saying in general, because of the race problem back then, they weren't going to do it anyway. Even if they had won, they weren't going to say nothing. But they didn't want them to know they were doing it. They were stealing players' styles. They were stealing how they wore their uniforms. They were, just the style of way they played. That's what they were doing it for. From what I was reading, like I said, I read some history. The Negro Leagues was up. And it started in Texas too.
Yeah. One of the top teams was the Homestead Grays.
Oh, yeah. That's who Josh played for.
Yeah. And, of course, Buck O'Neal played for the Kansas City Monarchs.
Right.
And it's such a history. I would share everybody needs to go to the Negro Hall of Fame in Kansas City, which is right next to the Jazz Museum also, and check it out. It's a once-in-a-lifetime experience, and it's great. Now, what can the NBL do in this day and age to enhance? I mean, baseball is dropped down and is dropping, in some instances, is below golf as far as viewership. And I don't know what they could do, but that was a very, I think, good thing that they did to enhance that. And I think they're trying to make up for some of the past that they did. And, that was a good thing that they were able to do. This has been a great show. We are almost at the end. I think, again, it's episode 21. We have our show every 2 weeks. And whatever's going on in sports, we're going to talk about. Emeritus member Silas McMorris, give me your comment on the state of sports. You're on mute, Silas. You're on mute. You're on mute.
I want to touch. Hey, Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Okay, I want to touch on the subject of what I see is the lack of fundamentals in the NBA. And I believe one of the problems that we have right now in America is that we no longer have the little church league, park leagues, and MCA leagues and boys club leagues as in the elementary ages for these kids to learn how the basic fundamentals of basketball. And I just found out a couple weeks ago, I did not notice that AAU really don't do a whole lot of practicing. They just show up and play games. So I'm wondering if we could get back to that, if we get back to the grassroots of having park leagues and church leagues and in the YMCA, that maybe we could put a better brand of basketball out here in the high school, college, and ultimately in the NBA. And I think that will help us even on the international spotlight, Carl. I think we have a better product to present to the world.
I'm just going to submit to you, though, life has changed from when we were growing up. It moves too fast, and these kids are not willing to sit and practice and go through the fundamentals because their mind is moving so many things. That's just what I see. That's what I see. And, you know, you have to adjust to that. I mean, you got a league like Overtime Elite that, you know, gets the kids from 16 to 20 and prepares them to go to the NBA and bypass college. So the world has changed, and I don't see it going back to that. And so these kids are adjusting to this new world. Laquan, you have a comment on that?
As I coach AAU, I would just say these kids, they play like somebody owed them something. And the thing is, they don't want to earn it. They think it should be just given to them. And like, I know my AAU team, we do practice, but however, you can't get kids. It's always the excuse with some of the kids why they don't show up in practice, but thinking they can just show up at the game. No, it don't work that way, because you get a huge awakening when you go to college and you wonder why you ain't playing. You at the bottom of the bench because you ain't put worth the effort to it. And so then they don't know they don't understand how to read plays. They don't understand it. They can't memorize plays. They're so used to let me just go out there and finesse one-on-one. That's what they're used to.
And that's what I'm talking about. There's a different kind of environment and child out there. You know, they're whole different than we were when we were in school. And I don't see it going back. The internet and all of these things have changed everything. It's changed the overall mindset. But
that comes down to parenting, though, Carl.
I think it's deeper than that, Silas. Because the parent can't be with them all the time, and they got to go out into the world now. And mama and daddy are under stress a whole lot, trying to hold on with a whole lot of things, so many more different things. Like I say, they dealing with the internet. The parent is trying to fight the internet and the peer pressure from that and everything that's going on. You know, I was a teacher for 32 years. I mean, I saw the changes. So everything is changing in that context.
I don't give no parents this day and age any sympathy, because if my mom can go work 2 to 3 jobs, get up, take me to practice, come pick me up from practice, be at my games in the stands cheering, and then coming home making me a play and get me ready for school. I don't have no sympathy for these parents, because they don't even bring their kids to practice. They don't even come to some of the games until it's a recognition game. Everybody want a trophy. Everybody want a trophy. Everybody, and that's what's wrong. They're giving these kids too much. If you lose, you get a trophy. For what? No, you need to get back in the gym and get better. That's what should be the trophy. And then, to be honest, NCAA, the NIL stuff, they should have threw that stuff. They should have never did that ever. They should have never did that.
Even though the kids were being exploited and they were earning millions of dollars for the university, they shouldn't have did it, or they shouldn't have done something.
No, I mean, we played. We did the same thing, but we played for pride because that school we went to that school for a reason. We went to that school for a reason. We got a free education. Okay, you let them get paid. Tell them to pay for their education. How many of them will show up? How many of them will show up then? They'll all quit. They will all quit.
I'm just saying the world has changed in a whole lot. Just like you're saying, you have no parents showing up and so forth. The parents are under so much pressure too. I know it's hard to have sympathy. I agree, but then as a teacher, and as a parent, I do have a little understanding. But I mean, you got to find a way to fight through all of the adversity to do what you got to do. And it's difficult, but those who are going to succeed find a way to overcome all those difficulties to do what needs to be done. We are at the end of our show.
Hey, before we leave, we got to give Simone Biles kudos. We got to give Simone Biles that whole gymnastic team. They are doing their thing.
I agree.
From Houston, Texas.
She is the GOAT. She is the
outstanding
GOAT.
point.
And real quick, guys, I do know what Silas was saying though. Fundamentals, it's about time, place, and program. What he's saying basically is parents or coaches who, and he and I are probably, all of us are of a certain era. That's how things were done though. With that many leagues he established, that way you do have to practice to play. Because there's so many more opportunities. You look, when we were coming up, we played at Operation Pool, YMCA, St. Mary's. The minute you went to Fifth Ward and saw a Alvin Brooks, a Tracy Bookman, you went back home and practiced after the game. You didn't want to get embarrassed like that again. These kids don't do that. And to answer another question that you asked earlier, it took me a little while, but the one guy I do want to see get a head coaching job is Sam Cassell. I don't care where it is. I want to see him get a head coaching job.
Me too.
Yeah.
They mentioned him first. He was the first guy they mentioned.
Yeah, I must have missed it, but I'm just saying he just kind of came to mind because every time you look around, he gets a coach he coaches with gets fired. He on another staff. He's continually in the league, so he does something right. I mean, if you gave Darvin Ham a chance, you certainly got to give Sam Cassell a chance.
Oh yeah, definitely.
He wants it. And don't get me wrong, I don't think Darvin Ham did a bad job, in my opinion.
And you see where he's going now, huh?
Back to Milwaukee.
Yeah.
And hey, we should salvage some of our brothers. They do it all the time.
Yes.
True. Well, everybody, I think we had a good show. We'll continue talking sports on Sunny Phi Side Live Sports Take. We want to thank our sister, Laquan. Tristica, are you there? You want to say something?
Hey.
Hey, how you doing? What you have to say about what we talked about?
Say it again.
You have any comment on what we were talking about?
I agree that I thought Dallas would be in the lead right now.
Okay, so you were surprised about Boston being up 3-0.
Yeah, I at least thought we would have one game under the belt.
Yeah. Well, Dallas can wait till next year. Maybe Houston will be challenging them for winning in that
Boston
division.
got too many dogs, man. Boston got too many dogs this year.
I heard somebody say that on
guys,
the internet.
Quick question, Carl. Right now, Dallas Mavericks lead the Boston Celtics 21-2. I believe it's 21-14. They're on the commercial break. 21-14. My question to the whole panel is, do you guys think this is the end of the series tonight? Do y'all think Boston wins and the end of the series tonight?
Yes.
What do you think, Laquan? Let me hear from Laquan.
I said they was gonna get swept. After the first game, I said Dallas gonna get swept.
Okay. All right. What about you, Phil?
Yeah, I mean, but I always said it would go 6. I knew Boston would win, but I wanted Dallas to win. I reiterate that again, but it doesn't look good for the home team, bro.
So you got to sweep. You got to sweep.
Yeah, tonight. Yeah, it's over tonight.
Okay. What about you, Silas?
I think it's over, man. Whatever lead Dallas gets on Boston, they always come back, man.
Yeah.
They have that extra push that Golden State had back in the day, man.
They did the same thing with Indiana. Indiana will get a lead and they come right back. Come right back on it.
Well, and even if Dallas wins, they only prolonging the agony. It's coming. It's like it's like a fighter that he hanging in all he can, and you know he going to the next round or two, and that inevitably happens. Rarely though, sometimes they get up and fight. Fighting is a lot different, but this probably won't happen. But one guy I will say that if you want to do it, and he ain't Rocky, was Diego Morales. He's dead now, but you can see the highlights of his fights. He would get knocked down 2 or 3 times, go to his corner, it's 8th, 9th round, and all of a sudden look like that's not the same person, and he wins. He did that on 2 or 3. Some of his fights were fights of the year. If you ever Google him, Diego Morales. Okay. But this ain't no Diego Morales situation, I don't think.
So, Carl, you think it's over tonight?
Phil, the outlook on boxing as it's going on. Last time we talked about the win of Usyk. What's going on in boxing, the boxing world? What's the next big fight?
Waiting on Canelo and Alvarez, but Canelo is smart. He knows this guy's a couple of weight classes below him, but he's the high ticket. I'd love to see it so Crawford could quit crying. He wants the money, but I don't think he can beat Canelo, but it would be interesting. He's very skilled. And then, of course, Tank Davis fights tomorrow night against a guy, Frank Martin, who's going to probably be his toughest opponent. So, and I'm a big Tank Davis fan because that guy has incredible skill set and power. Then I want to see him fight Stevenson, who's a pretty boy, but may be able to get off of that prettiness for one fight and fight a real dude like Tank. So we'll see. It's the lower weights right now for me, as opposed to the bigger weights.
Tristica, you trying to say something?
Oh no, I'm just listening.
Okay. My last thing that I want to talk about, I saw Tiger Woods was still trying in the U.S. Open. Does anybody think he should be giving up or let him have at it? He's earned the right to continue and keep fighting. Tristan, you got something to say on that?
Yeah, he's earned it, man.
He's earned that.
Let that man play. If he wants to play until the wheels fall off, let him do it, man.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, that's the last. Did you want to talk about that, Laquan?
I think it's more of what I think he's doing is giving his son a vision of what it is to come. So I think he's doing it more of, it's kind of like, I'm still going to be in it, but this is a way of training my son as another way. Yeah, so that's what I'm thinking. That's why I'm thinking he's still doing it.
Okay.
The only reason why he's still doing it is because they want him to continue to do it because he brings more credibility to the sport if he's performing, if he's out there.
And Charlie is pretty good. He can be pretty interesting in the next few years. That little kid can play.
Yes. And this is like, if you get to this point, these are who you're going to be playing. So it's like he's making him study them as well. So because he's very high on his son.
Good point.
Well, folks, this is our 21st episode of Sports Take Live. We thank everybody for joining us. We thank you, Trissy. Sister Laquan, we thank you. Hope you get a chance to come back and join us again. Emeritus member Silas McMorris, appreciate it, brother.
No problem,
everybody, blessings. Take care. We'll see you next time on Sports Take Live from 75 Side. Thank you.
Appreciate you all. Thanks.